Now we've heard that the bride is ready to come in. Hari Ananda on the right, Kumari Gopi on the left. They've not seen one another yet, at least not in the same way. Each one is holding beautiful flower petals in his or her hand. And I'll chant a mantra, and we'll drop the yantarpat covering at an undisclosed time. Each will gently toss the petals towards the other. And we do have instant replay. Whoever touches the other one first will be more helpful and submissive in the relationship. Om Madhavo Madhavo Vachi Madhavo Madhavo Hridis Smaranti Saravak Sarve Sarva. In the history of all flower tosses, this is a tie. Haribol! And now, in the most symbolic of all wedding enactments, we have an exchange of garlands. The flower, symbolic of growth. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, human life means that we're in the budding stage of life. But when one comes to Krishna consciousness, then that bud opens and becomes a beautiful flower. Srila Prabhupada consummated the various weddings that he performed with this exchange of garlands, and it goes back in history by thousands of years. Just let him hold it. Keep it. And don't worry. Okay. Now, hold these both. And something little in the background, you need to unveil her so you can.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Please repeat after me. Dear Radhe Shamananda, with this garland, I choose you to be my partner and best friend, to love, honor, cherish for the rest of my life. Haribol. Dear Kumari Gopi,
Dear Kumari Gopi,
with this garland, I choose you to be my partner and best friend, to love, honor, and cherish the rest of my life.
for the rest of my life.
And now if you'll both have a seat, we'll begin with the first enactment of the fire ceremony. Kirtan.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Sorry. Om Asana Mantra Ripishi Chandra Komo Devata Chantana Shivira Yogaha Om Hara Shakti Namanantayam Tomayan Pitri Chara Talaka Devi Samvishna Om Chatarana Mantra We'll begin with purification by mantra and touching water. You both have an achman, come, and you please repeat after me. Om Yatra Pavitrova Sarvavastan Gatopiva Yasmare Pundadikaksham Sabhaya Abhyantara Shuchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Now, please take the Achman spoon in your left hand and put 3 drops in your right. And please repeat after me. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Narayanaya Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. And now we'll chant selected verses from the Sri Brahma Samhita. Shvara Parama Krishna Satula Sakchirananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. So those who would like, give Rajaras Bhavana the mic. Tamani prakara sanmasu kalpa vriksha laksha vriteshu suravira vipalayantam lakshmi sahasra shata sambrahma sevyamanam govinda madi purusham shamaham bhajami. Venum konantam aravindam kalayakaksham bharavatam samasitam buddhasundarangam kandarpakoti kamaniya vishesha shobham govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Alola chandra kalasadmanamalya vamsi Radnangadam pranayakeli kalavilasam Shamam tribangalalitam niyata prakasham Govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami. Angani yassa sakalindriya vrittimanti Pashanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadushvala Vigrahasya Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Advaitam Achutim Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlamam Adurlamam Atma Bhaktau Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Pantasu Koti Shatavatsara Sambragamyo Vayo Radhapi Manaso Munipungavanam Sopyasti Yatra Padasindhya Vichincha Tadve Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Eko Pyasaura Charitum Jagaranda Kotim Yat Shakti Rasti Jagaranda Chayaya Danta Andantarasta Paramari Chayantarasam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yat Bhava Bhavitadiyo Manujasta Taiva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Payanana Bhusha Sukter Manti Govinda Vari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Itabis Tabirya Eva Nijarupa Tayakalavi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vivochanena Santat Sadaiva Hridageshu Vilokayanti Yam Syama Sundaram Achintya Gunasarupam Govinda Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramari Muti Shukalani Amena Tishan Nanavatar Makaro Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhapato Jagadanga Koti Koti Shashesha Vasudari Vibhuti Bindam Tad Brahma Nishkalamanantam Ashesha Bhutam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Hiyasya Jagadanda Shatani Sute Traigunyatatishaya Veda Vitayamana Sattvaavalambi Parasattvam Vishuddha Sattvam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasadmatayamanasu Yapraninam Pratipalam Smaratam Upetya Lilayatena Bhuvanani Jayatya Jasram Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Golokanamni Nijadamni Taleta Tasya Devi Mahesha Haridam Suteshu Teshu Te Te Prabhava Nichaya Vihitasya Yena Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Srishti Siti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Viparati Durga Ishanu Rupam Apiyasya Chacheshtitesa Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shiram Yathada Vikara Vishesha Yoga Sanchayate Nihitatah Pratagasti Heto Yasham Bhutam Apitata Samupaiti Karyat Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Deeparcha Eva Hida Shankaramabhyupetya Deepayate Vrivata Hetu Samana Charma Yasadrageva Hicha Vishnu Chaya Vipati Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yakaranarnavajade Bhajati Sma Yoga Nidramananda Jagaranda Saroma Kupaha Adhara Shaktim Avalamya Param Samurtim Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yashaika Nishvasita Kalamataavalamya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadananata Vishnur Mahansa Ihayasya Kalabhishesho Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Vasmanyatasna Sakaleshu Nicheshu Teja Swiyampiyat Prakatayat Kavitadradatra Brahmaya Esha Jagadanda Vidada Karta Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yathada Pallava Yugam Vinidaya Kumbha Dvande Pranama Samaye Saganadi Raja Vignan Vihantum Alamasya Jagatrayasya Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Agnir Mahi Ganganamam Muru Dishasya Kalastatat Mamanasiti Jagatrayani Yasmad Bhavanti Viprapanti Vishanti Yamsha Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yatshakshureshu Sabita Sakalagrahanam Raja Samasta Suramuti Rashesha Tejaha Yasyagnaya Pramati Samritakada Chakro Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Dharmo Tapa Panchaya Shukayasya Pamsi Brahma Yukita Patakavadayasya Jiva Yadatra Matra Vibhava Prakata Prabhava Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yaswindra Gopam Matavendra Mahosa Karma Bandhara Rupa Palabhajana Matanoki Karamani Nirdahati Kintu Chapakti Bhajam Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yam Krodha Kama Sahaja Pranayadi Piti Vatsalya Moha Guru Gaurava Sevya Bhavai Sanchintya Tasya Sadrishim Karamapurete Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Sriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpa Karavo Dhrumavu Nishchintamani Garamai Toyam Amritam Katakanandakyam Gamanamapitam Shri Priyasaki Chidanandam Jyoti Paramapi Karaswadyam Apicha Sayatra Shiradhi Sravati Surabhidyasya Sumahan Nimesardyakyo Va Vrajati Nahi Atrapi Samayaha Vaje Shveta Dvipam Tamaham Yaha Golokamityam Virantaste Shantakshiti Viralachara Katipaye Ishvara Parama Krishna Sakchirananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Iti Brahmasamita Sampurnam Hari Om. And now, bringing special meaning and perspective to the ceremony, I'd like to ask His Holiness Indradumna Swami to speak a few words to us.
Sri Chaitanya Marobishtam Stapitam Jena Rutale Shwayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadanti Slapadanti. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dearest Radhe Shyam Ananda, Kumari Gopi, I'm very happy to be here today, especially happy because I see this as a continuation of the fairy tale that you're coming to in your progress in Krishna consciousness, even to the point where I'm seeing Kumari Gopi as Cinderella. I'd like to explain how that all happened. Back in 1982, I was doing Harinam Sankirtan in Marseille, the bottom of France. I had a book distribution party at about 7 Brahmachari. We took the day off from book distribution to do Harinam. And we would go up and down the street and chanting, and suddenly we got tired and we went back to our camp. We were staying on the bank of the river. And we'd set our tents up, and we were cooking some prasadam, and then we went to sleep, and the next morning we woke up and we see that there was this camp of gypsies about 50 or 75 meters away, and we were all a little bit nervous. They had their wagons and their horses and their tents, and they were cooking with big pots and everything. Brahmachari's got a little nervous. And one of the boys, he went to collect some firewood, and he met one of the gypsies, and in a nervous way, he said something inappropriate to him. So we came back, and then 20 minutes later, 20 of the gypsies came to our camp with their leader. And, leader said, I heard, one of your boys made a bad remark. And I said, yeah, I'm really sorry about that. He said, what are you going to do about it? I said, let's just be friends. Let's be friends. I said, because do you know that your people originated in India and you came to the West at one time? So we're sort of part of the same tradition. Kind of like that. I said, you like to sing, we like to sing, you like to dance, you like to dance. He said, okay. He said, I like you guys. He said, if you need any help, just let me know. I said, no, it's okay, we won't need any help. So they went back and everybody, they're tough guys, So the next day we went back on Harinam. While we were doing Harinam, this motorcycle gang of, German bikers, the Hells Angels from Berlin actually, 7 or 8 of them, they came up on the sidewalk with their motorcycles, boom, 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 around us. And what are we going to do? And they got off their bikes and they came to beat us. So I said, boys, run. So we ran up the street, and as we were running, one gentleman came out of a shop with a stick. He said, hey, you leave those Hare Krishnas alone. I'd read one of their books. They're good guys. So all the motorcycle guys jumped and beat him to a pulp. The poor guy. So as we were rounding the corner to get away, the main motorcycle guy is a huge guy, like 7 feet tall, big beard, like that. He went like this to me. I got you. I got you. So, okay. We rounded the corner. So we went back and we had prasadam, and then we went to sleep. And then we had Mangalarti, we had, chanted our japa, just about to start our Bhagavatam class. Vroom, vroom, vroom. You see all these, 7 or 8 motorcycles coming down, they stopped and they got off and they came onto the riverbank. We were sitting on the rocks and they started coming with big sticks. 7 or 8 of these big guys in their leather jackets and their bikes are there. And they're coming straight at us. So I said to the boys, I said, stand up, at least we can take one of them down as we go down. So we picked up some rocks. And they're going, yeah, you won't get us with the rocks. I said, okay, the guy on the right of the big guy, let's take him down. So they came towards us and we stood there and the boys were, woo, woo. I said, courage, boys, courage. Don't stop till you see the white in their eyes. Don't shoot. So all of a sudden, they're like this far away from us. We're ready with the rocks. And they drop their sticks and they look like they'd seen a ghost. And they turn around and they start running away. I said, well done, boys. And then we looked around and there were 25 gypsies behind us with knives and hatchets and sticks. We turned around. Well, I said, wow, thank you so much. She said, yeah, we're part of this kind of same tradition, right? I said, that's right. So we sat down. He said, we really like you people. We saw you were ready to defend yourselves. I said, yeah. He said, let's be blood brothers. So he took a knife out. He took my arm and he cut me here in the wrist. And the vein burst with blood. Then he took his wrist and he cut and the spurted out. Then he put our hands together like this. He said, I'm going to make you a gypsy. You're going to have gypsy blood running through your veins, boy. So it takes 1 hour. So he ties us up with this big leather rope. We're like this. And I said, well, in the meantime, I'm going to help you become a Vaishnava. He says, what's a Vaishnava? I said, now's not the time to explain, but I said to the boys, start kirtan. So our boys started a rousing kirtan. Hey, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare. And I said, dance. So they started dancing around us. And then the gypsy men, they started dancing with us. And everyone's singing Hare Krishna for 1 hour. Finally he said, okay. I looked down and like I'm weak from a loss of blood. He said, you're a genuine gypsy now. I said, well, maybe you're going to be a Vaishnava. He said, what's a Vaishnava? I said, well, that's not right now. I'll tell you sometime. So we became blood brothers, and we introduced some Harinam to the gypsies. So as he's walking away, he turns around. He said, what was your name again? I said, Maharaj. He said, Maharaj, you owe me one. You owe me one. I said, okay. He said, you have a debt to pay. I said, what? How can I repay that debt? He said, whenever you see my people in need, you go and help them, okay? I said, okay. That chapter was finished. So I used to travel to Russia, and in it must have been 1994, 95, I can't remember exactly. We were traveling in Russia, and we went to Krasnoyarsk. And when we got to Krasnoyarsk, I had a team of about 6 or 7 devotees with me, and we're doing some book distribution, some programs, and then I said, let's go on Harinam. So the temple president said, okay, we're looking at the map. He's looking, so we can do over here by the city hall, over there and there. And I saw on the map it said Gypsy settlement. It's Siberia. So he said, let's go to the Gypsy settlement. He said, no way we're going to go to the Gypsy settlement. I said, yeah, I've got a debt to pay. You've got a debt to pay? I said, yes, Gypsy gentlemen, yes, gentlemen, they saved my life and I've got a debt to pay. So we're going there. He said, you can go, we're staying. But I got a few of the boys to come with me, and we went into the settlement. It was one of the most wonderful Harinams we ever had. People were so loving, so kind. They were coming out and they were dancing, because the gypsies love to dance and to sing, and like this, and with Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. We're dancing and singing. And then I met one pious gentleman, and I said to him, you should start a Hare Krishna temple here. A what? I said, preach our philosophy. So we kept in touch, kept in contact. And every year, when I went to Russia, I'd go to Krasnoyarsk to pay my debt. And we'd go chanting in the gypsy village, and they got to know us. And that particular gentleman with his wife learned our philosophy and started, preaching Krishna consciousness within that community. And in, when was it? 2003 I came, and they had a little baby girl. She was 7 months old, and she's sitting right here today. Give her a big round of applause. So I thought of that gentleman who saved my life. I said, I'm going to pay back some of my debt. So I took this little girl in my arms, and I chanted in her ears, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. You don't remember Kumari because you're only 7. And I chanted, and then I took a little prasadam and put it in her mouth like this. So planted the seed, and I prayed to Krishna at that time that this young baby would grow up to be a nice Vaishnavi, would help to spread Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement somewhere in the world. And it came true. Here you are today. So in 2006, I was always going back. I loved the gypsies. Came back again, and I initiated her father, Purusha Simha. He got the name. In 2009, I initiated her mother, Syama Manjari, and gave them both Brahmin initiation. I kept thinking, I'm paying the debt, I'm paying the debt, I'm paying the debt. And then some years went by, about 10 years went by, and I didn't go back to Krasnoyarsk. I just traveled different parts of India. 2009, 19, just before COVID started, I'm in Moscow doing initiation ceremony. And who do I see? I see this beautiful woman sitting there. I said, who's that? That's the gypsy girl from Krasnoyarsk. I went, wow, I'm really paying back my debt. They saved my life, and I'm saving her spiritual life. Hare Krishna. So she took initiation. And then later she came on the Polish tour. She was participating in chanting and dancing. And then in the next chapter in her, this is the real Cinderella story. The fairy tale. It's a fairy tale. How could it happen? Some gypsy settlement in Siberia, we come and chant Hare Krishna, and this young girl, her parents become devotees, she becomes a devotee. This is all the miracle of Panchatattva, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then as part of that story, the Cinderella's knight in shining armor came along by the name of Radhe Syama Ananda Das. So this is the next chapter. It's a real fairy tale. So now it's evolving, and I think my debt to that group that saved my life and put gypsy blood into my veins, my debt will be fulfilled when you have little children, boys or girls. I'm sure there'll be angels, little wings, and they'll continue carrying on this wonderful tradition of sharing Krishna consciousness with the gypsy community. And I'm one of you. Hare Krishna. You want to?
I mean, really? I'm just a little bit crippled, so I was listening to you outside, I have my head in my hands. I messed up my neck somehow, so please forgive me for being a little non-present. I'm so grateful that both of you have come, Indrajit Maharaj and Vaisesika Maharaj, Nirakula Mataji, Hare Krishna. I'm trying to stand in such a way where I get to see everybody, but I don't want to just wander around a little bit. I want to say, I was thinking about it just over the last few moments, and I thought I wanted to address three groups of people. So group one is going to be everybody here. I just thought I would tell the story of how Radhe Syam and Kumari got together. You guys look great, by the way. Like, phenomenal. You're a little skinny. I didn't know you were doing that fast thing, but it'll work itself out. I met Radhe Syam just here in Southern California. Rakta actually introduced me to him. Radhe Syam was organizing weekly kirtans at Santa Monica, Venice Beach. And Rakta was super inspired by him. And my son, my eldest son, Rakta, he was really inspired by him. He said, this Radhe Syam's a leader, and I feel inspired by him. He's spreading the holy name, and he's encouraging the youth, and there's some energy behind him. And so I wanted to meet him. So he came to meet me in Long Beach, and we got to know each other, and kind of from day one, just got along famously, like a match made in heaven. And so he added to our community and just immediately connected with our community. I think, Prabhu, you're his father, right? And your name is Sri Rag, that's right. Sri Rag Prabhu was renovating the whole Pujari department in Los Angeles, which was a huge job. It was a really big job. And I think it took a year or something like that. More than a year. And he did it himself. He's a contractor, carpenter, Finnish carpenter, expert woodworker. And Savas Prabhu, when he does things, does them really well. And so they did a full renovation for the first time in 50 years of the entire Pujari department. It was no joke. It was huge. Massive renovation. And so Sri Rag Prabhu and Radhe Syam did all the work. I think your other son came out. What's his name again? Shesha. Where are you, Shesha? Hey, you're looking great. Looking sharp. I know Shesha Prabhu as well. And anyway, we got to know each other. I parked in Sri Rag Prabhu's spot, and he left a threatening note on my car. And I felt threatened, intimidated, so I called him up and begged for forgiveness. And he, of course, was super kind and let me off the hook and didn't hurt me. And so we had a chance to connect. And of course, Sri Rag Prabhu was famous. He's famous as a Prabhupada disciple and a senior devotee and pillar in Denver and in Dallas and now in Tennessee, right?
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Sorry, it's all just,
South.
yeah, it's like the flyover states. It's just the deep, deep south. Anyway, he's a very, and Montaji, Nard Priya? Nard Priya is also, they're a very famous, well-known couple. So anyway, I met them, we had a relationship, and then I started counseling Radhe Shyam because I have the real honor of being your man on the ground and helping to look after your students and hear about their small victories and difficulties and milestones in their life and look after them on your behalf. Great honor. I'm so happy that my elders are hale and hearty and that I can step in and do a little bit of the light work for you so that you don't have to do everything nowadays. So I started looking after Radhe Shyam, and we got really close. And then he found this girl in Siberia on Instagram and was like, "This is a girl I want to marry." And this is
fairy tale.
this is literally what happened. He scoured the internet on social media and then found a girl in Siberia and said, "That's the girl I'm going to marry." That was it. Like, he found her picture online and said, "That's the girl I want to marry." I thought he was insane. Then he showed me her picture and I was like, I get it. Like, I get it. She's like super fetching and I get it. But I still thought he was insane. I mean, as materialistic as I am, this was a bridge too far. Just randomly picking out a beautiful girl from Siberia who spoke zero English, like -0. Like, it was, if you took a person who did not speak English and then you made them speak less English than that, that was her level of English. And he just being like an absolute, like, lion among men, just hit her up online and just went for it. Slipped right into her DMs and made his move. And they started a relationship not speaking one word of each other's language. And you may or may not know this, but AI, one of the most difficult things for AI to do, and this is pre-AI, but one of the most difficult things to do with artificial intelligence is translate effectively. And there's a reason for that, because human language is recursive, which means you can say, "I went to the store with my friend on this day, in this town, in this car, to buy this thing for this other thing on this date. And there were these other cars on the road, and they were going this speed, and we were going this speed, and then we ran into somebody, and they said this, and we said that." It's recursive. It creates very quickly, an infinite amount of nuance. And so translation programs suck. And I know this because I speak a couple languages, and when I look at what computers can do, even a 5-year-old can do a better job. It's ridiculous how poor translation programs are, even to this day, what speaking a few years ago. And their entire relationship was conducted by Google Translate. Yeah. And it got, I mean, they were spending 18 hours a day at certain points. At one point, he said to me, "I'm spending 18 hours a day talking to her." And I said, "Prabhu, you are addicted. You got to stop. We got to give you a 6 to 8 hour." Like, I was, it's like if you're dealing with somebody who's, like, forgive the example, if you're like dealing with a heroin addict, you're like, "Look, just smoke a little weed. We'll get through this. We got to make distinctions between, big problems and small problems." So I was like, "Hey, Prabhu, let's just do 6 to 8 hours a day. If we can keep it to 6 to 8, we'll be okay." Do you remember this?
It was more like 2 hours, you said.
I think I might have started 2, but then we negotiated a compromise of 6 to 8 hours a day. Yeah, it was like that. But I think it was 16 to 18 hours a day at certain points.
Possibly. On a bad day. Good day.
And then they had Mahabala. Where's Mahabala? Where is he? Mahabala now is fluent in English, but at that time he was not, and he became, it was like a love triangle, where Mahabala was the mediator of their romantic sentiments for one another. And Mahabala's Russian isn't that great. And that's his native tongue. English was even worse. Much worse. Anyway, he was their Cyrano, you know? And so she learned how to speak English to communicate with him. He picked up a little Russian, and she also speaks Romani, or whatever the Ruski Romani language she speaks is. I wasn't 100%, and the reason I wasn't 100% on Kumari was because she's literally a Siberian gypsy. Like, not figuratively, she's actually the most opposite Radhe Shyam culturally as anybody could possibly be. From halfway around the world, a completely distinct culture. The American-Russian divide is vast, but then the Siberia is like another world within Russia. And then the gypsy community within Siberia is totally distinct. And so there's multiple ways in which they were opposite. And I just thought maybe they're not going to work out. And then I talked to Kumari. You remember this? We spoke. And after we spoke, I said, for sure marry her. She's a good girl. Don't have any fears. Don't have any doubts. You'll be lucky. Krishna sent her. And like not that I could have stopped it. I think you were like a freight train that had left the station at that point. Or we're just along for the ride. But yeah, and then the rest is history. You guys, it turns out you guys both had blessed and cursed lives, like all Hare Krishna youth, including my own kids. And you grew up with amazing parents, but just growing up in the movement is not the easiest thing in the world. Both of you struggled and have a little bit of pain in your hearts. And you guys actually match up perfectly. Like, what a great, and you're wickedly handsome, and she's like gorgeous, and you guys just make such a beautiful couple, inside and out. And I know both of your stories backwards and forwards. You've let me in and told me your entire life stories, both of you. And I couldn't be happier for the two of you. And so that was for everybody, and that was for the two of you also. Just letting you know that I'm doing my best to look after your children. I think you gave her away, right?
I'm going to give her
You're going to? You haven't done that yet? What a blessing. I was thinking, who's going to give Kumari away? And I was going to say, I'll give her away if they hadn't figured it out. And then they said, Indra Junamaj is going to do it. And I thought, wow.
Well, I'm giving her away, but I'm still keeping her.
Sure. It's just a...
It's furious.
Yeah, no, it's just like... I thought, Radhika, my wife, was just like, when she said Indra Junamaj was giving her away, we just both oohed and awed and thought, what a beautiful thing. You're so far away from your family, but you still have your family here. Maj has been looking after you since you were born. Anyway, we're doing our best. We're looking after him. Not that Sri Radha Prabhu or any of you need any help, but we're just jumping in and doing our little bit to help out as much as we can. Hare Krishna. And then the last thing was I wanted to say something to the two of you, which is, okay, this is it. The whole legal wedding thing does count, but this really counts. This is it. You guys are making a lifetime commitment. It's really simple. You guys can fight, you can argue, you can have differences, you can go up and down and all around, all that stuff. But this is it. You're married. That's it for life. It's the two of you against the world. That's what's happening right now. All the Vaishnavas have come. Everybody you love is here. All your Gurujan is here. The deities are here, staying awake past their resting time to witness the event. The fire is going to be built. We're doing the full thing. You got the best priest you could ever ask for. The greatest Vaishnavas on the planet are here to bless your wedding. Don't take it lightly. It's not a joke. It's the most serious thing you'll do. It's just like taking initiation, and even more serious. It's the two of you. You're going to get married. You're going to have a family. You're going to raise that family. You're good people. You're both the best in class. You're wonderful people. We're so proud of both of you. Congratulations. 1,000 times over and 1,000 times again. You've got all our blessings and well-wishings. But none of that's going to be enough. The two of you have to commit. That's what's happening. And life is really simple. You make a commitment and then you keep it. That's it. We open up the books, you put your names down, and we close the book, and that's it. That's what it is for this lifetime. You did it. You went and found a gypsy rose out of Siberia, just plucked her out, and like transplanted her over here. Wherever you guys go, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. Just do it together. Stay together for the rest of your lives. Don't ever doubt that for a second. This is it. We don't mess around. We're serious people. We take our commitments extremely seriously. And we're doing this for you. And you're now joining our tribe. We make promises and we never break them. And now you're joining our family. Okay? Okay? All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
For Sankalpa, please. Radhe Ananda.
Should I clip this onto you? You have one.
Unclipped. So put some water in your right hand.
Hare Krishna.
I'm just gonna
And hold it on your right knee. Sorry, you said left yesterday, but it's right knee.
I'm just gonna keep it muted in case.
Om Tat Sat Shri Govindo Govindo Govindam Asyam Shubhatito Achyuta Gotra Sri Ragdas Narda Priya Dasi Purusha Singha Syama Manj Ananda Kumari Gopi Vibaha Samskar Kanyaham Karishyami. Sorry, do the drone. Savana Bhavatu Savano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavahai Jasminam Atityamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Karmana Punyaham Om Punyaham Punyaham Om Punyaham Om Karmano Pravantu Parvantu Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Karmano Ridhim Om Ridyatam, Om Ridyatam, Om Ridyatam. Om Swastino Govinda Swastino Chutaranto Swastino Vasudev Devo Vishnu Dharatu Swastino Narayano Naro Vai Swastina Padmarabha Purushottam Dharatu Swastino Vishvakshvena Vishveshwaraha Swastino Hrishikesho Harir Dharatu Swastino Vainapayun Tadahi Swastino Ananjana Suto Hanir Bhagavatu Dharatu Swasti Swasti Sumangalai Kesho Mahan Shri Krishna Satchit Ananda Ganaha Sarveshwareshwaro Dharatu. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Param Sada Pashanti Surayoho Divibat Chaksharatam Tabvipraso Vibangavo Jagribansaha Samindate Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam. Kirtan. First we'll perform the homa to open the connection between the fire and the heavenly planets. And please take grains in your right hand and offer them to the utterance of Swaha. Om Hu Swaha Idam Vishnave Idam Namama Om Bhuva Swaha Idam Achutai Idam Namama Om Swaha Idam Narayana Idam Namama Om Bhuva Swaha Idam Anantai Idam Namama. And now please have kirtan, and I'll perform the Purusha Sukta Homa. Give me that beautiful drone, please. Sahasra Shesha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrabha Sabhumim Vishwato Vritvat Adyatishtat Shangulam Swaha. Everyone say Swaha. Idam Krishna Idam Navama Purusha Evedam Gum Sarvam Yadbhutam Yashtavadyam Utam Vrittate Shashanaha Yadanannati Rohati Swaha. Idam Krishna Idam Namama Etavam Nasya Mahima Athojayam Shapurushaha Padosye Habash Vishvabhutani Tripadasyam Vritandiri Swaha. Idam Krishna Idam Namama Tripadudvadudaiti Purushaha Parosyeha Bhavan Punaha Tato Vishvam Vyakramate Shashana Nashane Bhapi Swaha. Idam Krishna Idam Namama Tasmat Virada Jayata Virajo Adipurushaha Sajato Adhyadishchata Pashchat Bhumim Ato Puraha Swaha. Idam Krishna Idam Namama Yat Purushena Havisha Devajajnam Atangata Vasanto Asya Siddhavyam Krishna Idhasharat Devi Swaha. Idam Krishna Idam Namama Saptasya Samparidayah Trisakta Samhita Krita Deva Yajnam Tangvalam Abadnam Purusham Purusham Swaha. Idam Krishna Idam Namama Tam Yajnam Marishi Prokshanye Purusham Jatam Akritaha Tena Deva Ayajanta Sadhya Rishayashjaye Swaha. Idam Krishna Idam Namama Tasmat Jajnat Sarvabhutaha Samritam Vrishakadyam Pashunishtam Shakre Bhavayanye Aranyatram Yashyaye Swaha. Idam Krishna Idam Namama Tasmat Jajnat Sarvabhutaha Vichaya Samani Jagmine Chandam Chi Jagre Tasmate Yadjustasma Vajayata Swaha. Idam Krishna Idam Namama Tasmadashvat Ayajanta Jayanta Yekhe Chubayadutaha Gavoha Jagmine Tasmate Tasmajata Vajavaya Swaha. Idam Krishna Idam Namama Yat Purusham Yadaduhu Atitavya Kalpayane Kam Kimasya Kaulahu Karu Uru Pada Purushete Swaha. Idam Krishna Idam Namama Brahmanosya Bhutamasite Bahurajanya Kritaha Uru Tad Asya Yadvaishya Adnyadum Shudro Ajayata Swaha. Pranischa Pranadvayur Ajayata Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Nama Navya Asidam Tariksham Shirishno Dhyosnamavartaka Padyam Pumir Dishasrotrake Tataloham Akalpayam Swaha Vedaham Etam Purusham Ahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasastupare Sarvani Rupani Vichitra Dhira Namani Kritva Vivadam Yadaste Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namava Yata Purasthadyam Tata Chahara Shakra Pradabham Pradishas Chatashraha Tameva Divyam Amrita Ihabhati Nadyat Panta Ayanaya Vidyate Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namava Yajnena Yajnam Yajanta Deva Tani Dharmani Pratyamanasyane Taham Taham Mahimala Suchande Yatra Burde Sadhya Santideva Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namava Om Put Swaha Idam Vishnave Idam Namava Om Pupa Swaha Idam Achutaya Idam Namava Om Swaha Idam Narayani Idam Namava Om Bhuva Swaha Idam Anantai Idam Namava. And now we're going to go to the next part of the ceremony, which is called Pani Grahana. Pani means hand and Grahana means to bind together. And this is a beautiful part of the ceremony when families come together as one. Grahana, also we know Shrinvanti Gayanti Grinanti Sarva. And this prayer by Kunti Devi, she talks about the ways that one can be directly pleasing to Krishna through devotional service. And one of the elements is called Grinanti, which means to deeply appreciate the service of another. And in this verse, Srila Prabhupada points out that when you're able to appreciate the service of another, the good qualities of that person become yours also. So in this Grinanti, or the Panigrahana coming together, it means the sum of the parts is greater than the whole. So as you come together and appreciate each one another in your services and encourage one another, it augments your own devotional practice. What to speak of bringing the families together as we're about to do in this ceremony. So everyone can note which side Kumari Gopi is sitting on, and you'll note that she'll switch sides when we come back to sit down for the next very brief fire ceremony, which is to consummate their Diksha, which they accepted yesterday, both of them. Radhe Ananda from myself and Kumari Gopi from His Holiness Indradyumna Swami yesterday both took second initiation, and we'll invite a second fire in just a moment and do the Mangala Charana Homa. So please have kirtan, and all the families who have been invited to take part in the next ceremony can meet right here in about 30 seconds. Hare Krishna. distance, so give some more space. Put out your right hand. Place your right hand. And now, you two, put your hands like this, underneath, like that. Maharaj, here's the garland. All the hands. Not all, just the two. So, for those of you who can't see, the parents of Radhe Shamananda, Shri Rag and Narada Priya, are holding their hands underneath, accepting that Kumari Gopi is joining the family. And also, Maharaj, the spiritual father of Kumari Gopi, has tied together their hands with a beautiful flower garland, the couple. And now is a time to make a few vows. Our dear Indrajit Swami, if you like, you can repeat after me, or you can say your own blessings.
Repeat after
Okay, then just take that and I'll say it to you. Today, I give my blessings
I give my blessings
to my spiritual daughter,
Kumari Gopi Devi
Dasi,
Dasi,
to wed in this sacred marriage
to
to Radhe Shamananda, whom I find to be a suitable husband for my spiritual daughter.
who I find to be a suitable husband for my spiritual daughter.
Haribol. Our dear Radhe Shamananda, do you accept Kumari Gopi Devi Dasi as your wife and promise to protect her in her material and spiritual life and to remain faithful to her always?
Yes.
Our dear Kumari Gopi, do you accept Radhe Shamananda, Prabhu, as your husband and promise to assist him in his material and spiritual life, to remain faithful to whom always?
Yes.
Silver pot. Silver cup? That little silver thing. And now, as the seal of the contract given in the Vedic process, Maharaj will pour 3 drops of water on their joined hands and utter the words Om Tat Sat.
Om Tat Sat.
Hare Krishna. Kirtan. And now you can untie. Ananda Priya, Devi Dasi will be tying together the knot. We call this strengthening the bonds that free us. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Raga Dvesha Vimuktaisthu Vishayan Indrayaishtaram Atmavashara Videyatma Prasadam Adhigashati. That by following the regulative principles of freedom, which sounds counterintuitive, regulative freedom, but there's a way in which, in this world, by following Krishna's directives, and as he says in the Bhagavad Gita, of all the ways that one can live a very productive and spiritually advanced life is through this divine and sacred marriage, which is a way that we bind ourselves to a certain way of living. We don't live like animals, but we live according to the Dharma that Krishna has given to us. So that knot represents this determination to be together in Krishna's service. And now, for the symbol of valor is the sindoor. If you'll place a small portion of sindoor on Kumari Gopi's part of her hair. Of course, this dates back to the times of Kshatriyas fighting for their queen and spilling blood. Maharaj gave us stories of blood and being connected. Yeah, move the little piece, if possible. But it's also taken a symbol of Lakshmi Devi, good fortune. And the sense of valor in the Kshatriya community of fighting for the bride and then claiming her even when as blood is spilled. Translated into modern terms means fighting for this opportunity to work together in Krishna consciousness and to protect one another, both from your own talents and perspectives, so that you can work together in Krishna consciousness and have a very Krishna conscious life. And now we're going to have the next homa, which is the Mangalacharana homa. So if you would start the drone again, Padripura. Om Swaha Idam Vishnave Idam Namah Om Bhuva Swaha Idam Achutai Idam Namah Om Swaha Idam Narayana Idam Namama Om Bhuva Swaha Idam Anantai Idam Namama. So everyone can participate in this part in the Mangalacharana Homa. Om Ajnana Timrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unnidatam Dina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Swaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katahmayam Dadati Swa Dadantikam Swaha Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Bitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvatutam Rijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Swaha. Now say the pranam of your spiritual master. She's saying the pranam of her spiritual master. Swaha. Say it out loud. Swaha Namao Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prasharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Swaha Namao Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhana Videvi Daitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Maturyo Jwala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viradhapa Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine Swaha Namo Gaurakishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Sambodhe Padambujaya Te Namaha Swaha Namo Bhaktivinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Swaha Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvam Nirdesta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhoma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Swaha Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhu Yaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Swaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Krishe Namaha Swaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Swaha. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindho, Dinabandho, Jukatpate, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta, Namostute, Swaha, Tapta Jayatam, Suratam Pongur, Mamamanda, Matirgati, La Sarvaswa, Adambo Jao, Radha, Marana Mohanao, Swaha, Divya, Vrindaranya, Kalpadurmada, Srimad Ratnangara, Sinhasanastao, Srimad Radha, Srila Govinda Deva, Stalibi Sevyamano Svarami Swaha Shriman Rasa Rasarambi Vamshivata Tatastitaha Parshan Venur Swaner Gopir Gopinatha Shishtunaha Swaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Swaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Swaha Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha. And now just before we have the final offering, the Purnahuti, we'd like to ask Sri Rag Prabhu and Narada Priya to say a few words, blessings.
There was so much said already, what can I say? I would think that blessings which should come with some instructions, and we can pray that they can follow these. We have so many Vedic injunctions in our scriptures by the words of our spiritual master, Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, so many Vedic injunctions, you know. And so Krishna, he says to Arjuna that Vedanta Krit Veda Videva Chaham, right? Isn't that it? That by all the Vedas, Krishna is to be known, right? So how do you, we all know that we have to revive our loving relationship with Krishna. It's, you know, it's something that eternally goes on. It's forever, everlasting. And if we do learn to revive this relation with Krishna, then with our newly married couples, our friends, our families, you know, relatives, there'll be no question of love between all of our relationships. So we have to follow these injunctions in order to become self-realized. And what is being self-realized? Everybody agree with me that loving Krishna is self-realization. It's not so, you know, merging, becoming one, becoming void, becoming, you know, impersonal. But self-realization means that you're developing love for Krishna. So if we have developed our love for Krishna, then in our relationships, we won't have any difficulties. It'll be just like the spiritual world where there is no question of love. So if love is there, like Prabhupada used to say about the Gurukula kids when they were behaving improperly, he would say that if you give them love, automatically they will behave properly. So if we learn to love Krishna, this is our, you know, have a nice steady stream from our hearts of love of God, then that simply what realize self-realization is, and our lives will be perfect and peaceful, happy, tolerant, patient. We become leader, stamina, fearless, no fatigue, healthy life of self-preservation in order to become God conscious, loving Krishna. So if you can, these instructions are our blessings, and we pray that you can follow these injunctions, which are all meant to get to know Krishna, and your lives will be perfect, successful. Thank you very much.
Give you blessings, and every day I'm trying to bless you in your path on Krishna consciousness. And today, because I was thinking about on the airplane ride, the struggle that's going on outside our temples is so vivid. When you see people and they go through so many things. For example, the competition out there, thinking about the money economy and how people struggle. When my husband wanted to get just a bottle of water, it's like almost $5 now. And it's like when they start the demoniac civilization, they start to control everything in such a way that people are in this fierce competition with each other. So I was just thinking about how important it is we stick together, and that's the thing as devotees. We stick together as devotees, and the association of devotees. We hear that so many times. How important is the association of devotees. And I feel so grateful for all the devotees who came here today, because, many have come far away, and just to be here is very emotional for me to see you all. And it's a blessing them just by your presence. And what came to mind was the Sri Upanishad about different units that are emanating from the Supreme, and each of them are complete units. And I remember thinking about, everything in this universe, everything is completing itself, but if it's not joined together in some whole, doesn't work so well. For example, let's say you have a computer, a PC, and you've got this little, the letters on there, the keys. So you call it a key, and then they call it a letter. So they're all separate parts, but you put it together, otherwise it's not going to work if you don't have keys on the computer. And similarly, we're always supposed to be serving the Supreme Whole, and that's here we have Chushi Panchatattva, and our dear gurus and charyas, and everyone assembled here, the devotees, and we serve each other and we stick together. That's the main blessing, because everyone has duties, and there's the religious principles we follow, and that helps our life be smoother, because there's so much, maybe some karma coming from past lives, and we want to have as smooth as possible. So our goal is that bhakti, that yoga, and actually it's this chanting Hare Krishna, this bhakti, that gives us the ability to follow these principles. I mean, it's like an immersion process. If you were thrown in water and you have to learn how to swim, so when you meet a devotee and they give you a book and you read and you think, oh wow, you feel ecstatic. It's like immediately we're on the highest platform of bhakti, is getting that association and getting that ray of the Vishnu coming through the devotee. And you want to keep it. You want to keep that. So then we gradually learn the rules, regulations, try to keep that feeling in our heart and get that devotional service, keep that mood going. So that's all I hope for you too. I mean, there's many other things probably, but that's the main gist of it. So Hari Krishna.
Last part. Drum, please. Om Swaha Idam Vishnave Idam Namama. Om Bhuva Swaha Idam Achutai Idam Namama. Om Swaha Idam Narayana Idam Namama. Om Bhuva Swaha Idam Anantai Idam Namama. Mantrahinam krihinam bhaktihinam janarjanam yat pujitam mayadevam paripurnam tadastume. Now, the final offering. Please stand up and you can take that piece of coconut that is there for you for the last offering. Oh, coconut. Thank you. Namo Brahmanya Nivaya Go Brahmane Hitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Swaha Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Utachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Kirtan. And now, you will both together circumambulate the fire. Hare Krishna.
final ceremony, Kumari Gopi will keep her right foot in each circle, and they will, all of us, I'll read out the 7 purposes of their marriage, and after each step, everyone can give a Hari Haribol. That's a Hari Haribol or a hearty Haribol. Kumari Gopi, take the first step as your vow to support and uplift one another on your spiritual journey, helping each other to grow closer to Krishna. That was a Hari Haribol, but not a hearty Haribol. Let's try again in the next step. Please take your second step. You take the second step to cultivate trust by treating one another with respect and kindness, creating a harmonious life together. Please take your third step. This third step is to inspire one another to become the highest versions of yourselves, living with heartfelt purpose. Please take your fourth step. Fourth step, to stand by and support one another through highs and lows, joy and sorrow, sickness and health. Please take the fifth step. The fifth step is to create a home centered around Krishna, where you serve and host devotees, friends and family with love and devotion. Please take your sixth step. Take the sixth step to communicate with honesty and patience, working together to overcome any challenges that may arise. And please take the seventh step. The seventh step, to cherish your relationship and love, honor, and daily choose each other for the rest of your lives. Please stand here. Dear Shri Shri Panchatattva, may Kumari Gopi and Radhe Syama Ananda thrive in all areas of their lives with your blessings. Dear devotees, I now present to you Mr. and Mrs. Radhe Syama Ananda Das and Kumari Gopi Dasi. Silver stuff, stuff that doesn't look like copper and brass, that's mine. So that goes back in here. Should be nice and dry when it goes back. The couple will be out in the foyer, and anyone who wants to walk by them and offer them blessings or huge stacks of cash, please feel free to walk up and pass by and just give them your best. Thank you.